This is Perspectivas Latinas, a community service of CAN TV. I'm your host, Juan Carlos Hernandez. Are you ready for Mother's Day? Well, if you want something different that weekend, there is a concert that the Chicago Cuatro Orchestra will be holding with the Ballet Folklórico Juvenil de Chicago. Our guest, Orlando Rivera, is here to talk about that concert, and we'll also get a taste of the orchestra's music. Welcome.
Gracias. Thank you.
Let's start off by talking about you and how you came to this music and the orchestra, the origins of this orchestra. It's been around about, what,
18 years, basically, after I had an accident, car accident. My brother put a cuatro in my hands. I learned it. I wrote a curriculum. I started the classes. People loved it. I was able to put a group together and develop from there until today.
So it was an accident that brought you to the cuatro.
Definitely.
But that wasn't the first instrument you were playing then?
Oh, no. I was a bass player, professional bass player.
Okay.
I used to play classical and everything else.
Classical?
Classical, yes.
And your first teacher was whom?
My father.
Your father?
My father. He taught me a few chords by ear. And the rest I just played, asking, reading, and, you know.
And how old were you when you first started playing?
12 years old.
12 years old?
12 years old.
Wow. And this was in Puerto Rico?
Puerto Rico. Calle, Puerto Rico.
Calle. And how did you end up in our fine city? And
I came to study, to do my master's degree and try a teaching career, really. And the opportunity was so good, so great, and I saw the need that I decided to stay, to do one more project. And that project brought me to another project and to another project until
and
this one.
Many years later, you're still here.
I'm still here doing projects.
Okay, so tell me why, well, you said the cuatro ended up in your hands because of an accident. You couldn't play the bass because of the accident?
I couldn't, I couldn't not even hold an instrument.
The neck of the...
Yeah, the neck, it was too hard, too strong, and I didn't want to play anymore, you know, nightclubs and, you know, the kind of rhythm that I was playing, my life was having. I wanted something easier, or not easier, but, you know, slower. And the cuatro was perfect. I was able to hold it and little by little exercise my hand. The cuatro saved my hand, by the way.
The cuatro saved your
hand. The cuatro
hand.
saved my hand, and from there on, I decided to keep teaching seriously the cuatro.
So you're performing at nightclubs, you're performing with bands. In our conversation earlier, you said that you could, if you wanted to work every night of the week, you could.
Oh yes, definitely. Yes, I was able to play every night if I wanted to.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then the orchestra came about. How did that happen?
Well, after the accident, my brother put a cuatro in my hands. I learned it. I wrote everything, every program I had, learning it. With the solution, I created a curriculum. We had the opportunity to start up a community class, massive community class.
Did you expect it to be massive?
Not that massive. I was expecting 5 or 10 people, and we had like probably 40 people there waiting for us.
Wow.
Yes, and that, you know, opened our vision a little bit wider, and I said, there's a need. Let's go and do something about it.
Wow. And this was where?
The first class we did at the Puerto Rican Parade Committee, local. It's a building where they have meetings, they have classes, they have different things, activities. The president in those days, they gave us, my brother, a chance to start up the class there, but then we moved to our own place, and everything grew up from there.
Great, that's awesome. Now let's hear a piece by some of the students from
the beginners.
The beginners, and then we'll continue the conversation.
Definitely, these are one of my 2 beginners players, cuatro players from Funston Elementary School.
Okay, great.
Okay.
That's great. And how old are these students that in the beginning class? The average age?
The average age, it goes from 9 years old
Okay.
up, basically fourth and fifth grade.
4th and 5th grade. What if somebody like in their 20s, 30s wants to learn?
There's no limitation. Everybody's invited to come and join. These are massive classes, so we have all ages in one, and you just follow the recipe and
Really?
you'll learn.
Wow. So you said that the Cuatro saved your hand and saved your career as a musician, right? What else have you discovered through teaching? You were already teaching at that point, but it became a bigger part of your life after that accident and having the Cuatro. What did you discover about it here in Chicago?
Basically, when you see a need and you are able to do something about it, well, you feel satisfaction, but then you also understand that you need to continue. So this is something that you start because the situation, but then you learn that you have to continue because then you see and learn about more people needing this more often, especially children.
Especially children.
Especially children.
So your concern is for children and for continuing this tradition, if I'm understanding you correctly?
Basically, I have to continue the tradition, but most importantly, the educational part. I want to educate everybody about what the Cuatro is and to give the opportunity to the children about what music is and how to play it and learn the skills that you need in order to be a good team worker, because this is another part of it. Children are learning to work in a team and make decisions in milliseconds to be able to play the right note, and use their brain, in a different way that most of them are not even have the opportunity to.
Right. Right. So you said this tradition of the Cuatro. The Cuatro, it's the national instrument of Puerto Rico.
Yes.
Right? And but a lot of the children that come to your class probably don't even know that. How do you go about teaching them the love and respect for the instrument?
Well, I always tell them what the Cuatro is. I teach them and how important it is to me. When they see how important it is to me, what I'm doing, and they see my passion, then you see the change in their faces. They feel like I'm doing something important, and they take it like it's something important, and they move on from level 1 to level 2 to level 2 to level 3, and so on until they make it to the highest level.
Okay. How many levels do you have in these classes?
Basically, we have beginners. Intermediate is divided into 3. That's 4 levels, and then the advanced, the orchestra level, is number 5.
Number 5.
Yeah.
Wow. And do a lot of your students come and stay through the entire program? I guess you could call it a program.
Yes, it is a program.
Okay. And do they stay in touch with you once they leave? Or?
Yes, as a matter of fact, they visit, they stay with us. Sometimes they play. You're going to see in the program some of our veteran students playing with us. Okay. Yes, they stay in contact, they play with us, they help us. Some of them become instructors.
Oh, really?
Which is one of our missions, not only to keep the Cuatro alive and educate people about the Cuatro, but to create instructors, composers, conductors, and leaders.
So might start out simply as a music class to learn the Cuatro, becomes a passion and a way of life, like it did for
Professional, exactly, a profession for some of them. Yeah.
And for those who say, well, I really love this and I play it and it's not a profession, what do you think it gives to them?
Oh man, self-esteem, understanding of what really is to create, what is being part of a serious program, or a serious kind of program, and how to work as a team, and many other things that we know that music brings to you.
Okay, now let's hear a second piece from another part of your program.
Intermediate level.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Well, you're going to hear now the intermediate and preparatory level 1, playing a aguinaldo cagüeño, one of our styles, very famous and popular from Puerto Rico.
Okay, great.
y con mucha alegría hoy vengo a cantarte. Con mucha alegría hoy vengo a cantarte y a felicitarte, dulce madre mía. Y yo quiero en este día decir que te amo, por eso te llamo reina de mis amores. Y de hermosas flores, mamá, hoy te traigo un ramo. Y de hermosas flores, hoy te traigo un ramo. Y tú eres la reina de mi corazón, pero tú eres la reina de mi corazón. Eres mi canción, mi poesía eterna, eres la linterna de luz que me guía de noche y de día. Me cubre tu manto y eres un encanto, dulce madre mía. Eres un encanto, dulce madre mía.
Bueno, gracias por otra pieza. Well, I'm sorry, I'm getting confused with the English. We're in English. Thank you for that beautiful piece. I'm just hearing him sing in Spanish. Maybe get into the Spanish mode. Now, let's talk about the event that you're having for Mother's Day.
May 10. Awesome. It's the first time we are going to do an event like this one. We're going to honor the mothers. And it's every piece we're putting together that night is everything dedicated to the mothers. Every song we're going to sing is going to be a message honoring mothers.
And, well, obviously we need to honor our mothers, but why decide to do it this year? Have you done it? Do you do it every year?
No, this is the first year we're doing it.
Okay.
So it's like an experiment, kind of.
Okay.
We need to fundraise because the orchestra was invited to go to Puerto Rico in 2015.
Oh, wow.
So we need to find funds, and this is a great way to do it, you know, bringing happiness, honoring mothers,
Right.
and then at the same time, finding ways.
Yeah, and who will you be collaborating with? I did mention it at the opening of the show, the Ballet Folklórico.
Ballet Folklórico Juvenil, which is an awesome community like us group. They're teaching their kids, their children, and everybody how to dance different dances from Mexico, different parts.
Okay.
It's awesome.
So it'll be the orchestra doing a few pieces and then the Ballet Folklórico?
Yeah, we're gonna have the preparatory orchestra doing a few pieces, then we're gonna have a soloist singing, and then after that the folkloric ballet is coming, and then after the folkloric ballet, then we have a little break, and then the Chicago Cuatro Orchestra come with the final part of the show.
Okay, and how long is the concert going to be?
It's gonna be about 2 hours.
2 hours?
From 7 to 9.
Okay,
Yeah.
and it'll be, we're gonna have the information up on the screen, but it's at, what school will it be taking place
It's gonna
at?
be North Grand High School Theater.
North Grand High School
Costner and North Avenue.
Costner and North Avenue. Okay, so you said this is a fundraiser for you guys, and you're planning to go to Puerto Rico next year.
Yes.
How did that come about?
Well, just a friend of mine, that she's the director of the Puerto Rico's Cuatro Orchestra, the most famous orchestra over there. I asked her if she wanted to come to us, and she said, yeah, let's plan for it. And then, but then she said, but we want you to come to Puerto Rico. And then
You individually? And he said,
no, the
you
orchestra. The orchestra said, oh, wow, it will be an honor, you know. We always wanted to go to Puerto Rico, so the kids see where all of this starts, you know, from.
Right.
And she said, it's going to happen. So start planning. So everything started there.
Wow. So you have to, you have to fundraise for the tickets and everything.
Tickets, air, everything. We have to find money for everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
And once you're in Puerto Rico, you're going to play all around the island, or
We're
in
going to
San
play
Juan?
at different. It's going to be a weekend, so we're going to be in 2 different places. There's so many people that want us to go and play.
Really?
Probably we're going to have to squeeze it to 3 presentations, you know, in those 2 days. But we're going to be in San Juan, and then from there we're going to go to the west side, and then probably we'll go to my town. I want the children to see where I'm coming from, you know.
Okay, and what town is that again?
Calle, Puerto Rico.
Calle, Puerto Rico.
Calle, Puerto Rico.
And that's on the coast or where?
Center.
In the
It's
center?
right in the center. Yeah.
Wow. And so in a lot of ways, it's a coming home for you
Yes.
as a teacher, as a musician, and now taking your own orchestra, your own students. How does that feel after all these years?
Oh man, it feels so good. Just to think about it feels so good, you know, to be able to do that and visit my island with what I produced, you know. And it was not in my original plans to be like that, but it came up better than what I thought. And I know, I feel very good, very satisfied, and I hope that this, you know, project come up really well.
Great. And so this would be next year, when, in the spring, summer?
May.
May of
Probably the second week of May,
next of 2015.
2015.
Okay, and if people want more information, they could go to your website.
They can go to my website, to our website, and we'll give more information. And if people want to join us in the trip, they can follow the Chicago Cuatro Orchestra too.
Great. We're going to actually introduce the last piece now. Tell us about that. And
The last piece, beautiful piece. It was the first Puerto Rican style invented by the Jíbaro. It's called Seis con Décima. We're going to have Cesar improvising over the theme, which is the Mother's Day.
Okay.
And we're going to have the most advanced kids performing it.
Great. Thank you so much for coming out today. It was
You're welcome.
a pleasure.
Thank you
to
for
meet
having us.
Great. Thank you so much. Perspectivas Latinas is a community service of CAN TV. If your nonprofit organization would like to work with CAN TV, call 312-738-1400 and ask for nonprofit services. Tune into Perspectivas Latinas for local issues and concerns every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. on CAN TV 21. I'm Juan Carlos Hernandez. Thank you for joining us, and stick around for the music.
como canta tu inspirado ruiseñor. Y contigo paso las horas, contigo paso las horas, más felices de mi vida, porque tu madre querida, conmigo mis penas lloras. Tus palabras seductoras, que brotan de tu interior, tienen perfume de flor, que al exhibir su fragancia, canta con más elegancia. Tu inspirado ruiseñor canta con más elegancia. Tu inspirado ruiseñor